In a recent post by Sotarks, he stated his frustrations with the mapping community with the recent veto of his map. Well, why?
Well, this was because a member of the nomination assessment team vetoed and disqualified his map without room for any discussion. In Sotark's words, he wasn't giving any constructive criticism, and instead he was inserting his subjective opinions on it. In a recent response to his own tweet, he brought up the state of the current mapping community. He brought up the fact that the ranking criteria meta sucks, and he claims that it's due to having a lot of BMs and NAT members having a certain taste in mapping which doesn't fit his mapping style. And well, he's kinda right. Osu doesn't have any type of marketing, meaning it's up to the content creators to introduce and welcome new players, and in turn, new mappers. The more players we have, the more mappers we have. And the more mappers we have, the more content we have. And the more content, the more new players we have. And this is why I personally think that a player's perspective should hold more value than a mapper's perspective when it comes to ranking a map. Therefore, giving a reason such as, and I quote,
"Your map is way too overspaced in general because you overemphasize your jump patterns in order to inflate difficulty,"
is, in my opinion, not a valid reason to veto a map without further discussion, because these mappers are playing to the meta and therefore playing to the player's interest. There are cases like Zane where they were definitely inflating the PP a map should give, but it was because of a game-breaking exploit. The overinflated difficulty is what most of the player wants to play. Therefore, by denying the kind of maps like these, you're willingly denying the demand of the player base. PP should not be a factor in ranking a map, only a map's playability and enjoyability. But this brings up another very important point of discussion that needs to be brought up. I think the current state of the community as a beginner mapper is extremely unwelcoming and discouraging for many. If an experienced mapper like Monstrata or Sotarks are able to get their map vetoed within a matter of seconds by a single person who disagreed with their mapping style, how are we, the beginner mappers and the smaller mappers, supposed to be able to stand a chance if something similar were to happen? I understand not liking or agreeing with a section of a map, but there should at least be a point of discussion before straight up denying and preventing a map from being ranked. And I have to agree with Sotarks, I don't think this was the best way to handle the situation. Sotarks was able to make a post on Twitter to have some change when it came to the map. What would have happened if something like this happened to a smaller mapper? Well, nothing. Sotarks has the privilege of having a following while many other mappers don't. There should have been an open discussion before a veto was set in place. It's just not fair for any mapper to have that sort of treatment regardless of how big the mapper is or not. TLDR, our jobs as mappers who want to be ranked at least should be to make content for the player. Making content indirectly inspires other players to also make content. With great power comes great responsibility, and the BNs and NETs should overall be helping the mapping community while improving and learning from situations like these. Modding isn't perfect for the community, and it probably never will be, but it could 100% be improvable. But anyways, this is just what I think about the situation. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Maybe give that sub button a little smooch while you're at it, right? But anyways, I'll catch you guys later.